All animals are equipped with the fight or flight response for survival. When a zebra is being chased by a cheetah, its stress response is activated. This is stress activation. When it outruns the cheetah and finds its way back to safety, the zebra doesn't think about what has just happened, nor what could have happened, or nor what might happen next. So this activation within the body and the brain returns to a baseline. It returns to zero. This can happen quite quickly, within half an hour or so, and the zebra becomes back online. That's to say that the zebra becomes reintegrated after it's had its stress response. The response has been sent to the emotional brain. It's flipped its lid. When it realizes that the threat has passed, it reintegrates and comes back online. The part of the brain that is responsible for this activation, for hitting that alarm button and triggering the stress response, is called the amygdala. And this lies deep within the limbic system of the brain, or in the thumb section on our hand-to-brain analogy. This is the alarm center for the brain, and it is really powerful and super fast and very, very good at looking for threats. So what is the difference between humans and zebras and our stress activation? Well, humans have developed capacities to analyze and use our imagination. The problem is that the amygdala cannot distinguish very well between what is a real cheetah or just a recalled memory of a cheetah. In other words, the amygdala, the alarm button, cannot tell the difference between an imagined threat or a real threat. So what happens when I imagine a cheetah? Well, we're back to activation. However, this time it's fight or flight without the actual presence of a danger. Think about anything you might do routinely: driving a car, cooking the dinner, playing sport, or playing an instrument. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And stress activation works in exactly the same way. Think of it as if we are training the amygdala to be hyper alert. And due to this highly trained alarm system, our baseline begins to change. And instead of going back to zero, the new baseline might be a 5 or a 6. Not only does this mean that it's harder to recover from stress, but it also means that we get activated more easily and quicker. You might be familiar with this if you've ever had one of those days where all it takes is the tiniest thing to just tip you over the edge. The quicker stress response makes it harder to reintegrate all parts of the brain, and it makes it harder to bring ourselves back online. So we've had a look at some of the stresses in our lives in terms of chronic and acute stress, what is internal and external. We've also looked at some possible reactions that come to mind when someone might be activated by a stressor. In this next exercise, we're going to take a look at the kind of thoughts that might show up when you bring to mind any one of your daily stressors. So please go ahead now to the audio exercise, Stress as it appears for you.